Patate douce.
I brought a tripod. I'm gonna put you guys on a tripod. How does it feel to be valued? Cool. Okay, so essentially, I moved to Paris because I don't like Europe. Bear with me. By the way, this crazy haircut is because I got bangs. Paris has me in a chokehold as we speak. I moved to Paris because I am very intent on moving to Korea. I was in Paris a couple of months ago to visit my friends. A lot of my friends that used to live in Lebanon, that I know from Lebanon, moved to Paris because of, well, everything that transpired in the country in 2020, which essentially means, you know, a bomb and COVID and crazy inflation before it was trendy to have inflation. So a lot of people moved to Paris because we just, you know, didn't have any job opportunities or all these things. And so now the majority of my friends actually live here. Another reason why I came to Europe was to see my family. For those of you who don't know, I am half Congolese and Belgian. If you follow me on social media, I've probably shoved this fact down your throat at some point because I'm very like mixed girly. So I was in Europe to also visit my family because my mother and my brother and my sister live in Belgium. It was my first time back in Europe after being in Asia for a year and a half. Like everything that transpired in Paris, I would always go back to comparing it to either living in Tokyo or living in Seoul, because Seoul and Tokyo aren't like perfect places to live in. I'm fully aware of this, but they're very efficient to live in and they're very convenient to live in. I just feel like it's a better style of life over there for me personally, not for everyone. For me, okay? I feel like the ultimate goal of my life is to experience a lot of different things. So going back to this experience thing, I've never experienced living in Europe. After living in Asia, I'm pretty sure I don't want to live in Europe full time. So living in Europe now for a year seems like a great idea because I'm still young enough to have the visa that I can get to move to Korea or Japan. So the thought process was like, move to Paris now, have the experience of living in Europe because you never lived in Europe as an adult. You know, travel around Europe because it's not cheap to travel in Europe in all honesty. Like I've browsed hostels, it's so expensive compared to Asia. Damn. But you know, it's still doable and I have a very free schedule thanks to my remote work, which is not YouTube, obviously. Yeah, so I was like, it's the perfect time to move to Europe. And you know, I'm not gonna complain about moving to Europe. Like even Paris, I love Paris. Okay? A lot of people are like no, not French people, Persian people, like they're so annoying. I love Persian people. But that might be because I've never had a bad experience here. That might be because I speak French, but I like the sarcasm. I like the fact that they're annoyed. People have been nothing but like courteous to me, which is not to invalidate anyone's like experience who've had bad experience here, but you know, I don't have an issue with Paris. I'm such an inefficient cooker. Cook. English. Do you speak it? While I was here, I was like, I woke up one day, I had the whole thought process that I just told you, and I was like, you know what? Let's see. And I told one of my very close friends, and then he told me that, you know, I'd love for you to be here, but it's probably going to be very hard to get an apartment because your job isn't like a job that you have with a French company, and even though you are French, like it's extremely hard to get an apartment in Paris. So when he told me all of this, I was like, damn, like, okay, I want to move to Paris, but I probably can't. So I put the thought process on hold. I was like, okay, like if it's gonna be this hard to get an apartment, I don't know if I should move here, but I can try, you know? Again, I know I'm in a super privileged position. Second day, my friend sends me a message and he's like, hey, I just got a message from two girls who were with me at like a college that he went to in France, and they both want to move out of their apartment. Yeah, so we scheduled a date to see the apartment. I came here with my best friend. We saw the apartment. We loved it. We're like, we want it. We put together all the rent documents that you would need to be eligible to get an apartment in Paris. Yes, I'm a horrible cook. Let's move on. And our dossier was weak. So I was able to get a guarantor, which is basically someone that makes 3 to 4 times the rent that I pay here. And I have a friend who makes 4 times the rent that I'm paying. So he was like nice enough to tell me that, you know, of course you can be. Actually, I didn't even ask him. I was telling another one of my friends, and then he asked my friend because I was too shy to do it because I didn't want to impose on anyone because I have independence issues. Anyway, and then our dossier became very like interesting as well. So we sent the dossier, the application, and in France, like it's really hard to get an apartment. If you've been watching any Paris vlogs or like people who get apartments here, apparently it's like the ghetto. And we got the apartment the second day. Between the decision of me moving to Paris and me like having an apartment essentially fall into my lap, it was around like 3 weeks. I don't know, like God did his thing, chance did its thing, randomness did its thing. Mashallah. And I'm a very like responding person to the flows of life. So if I feel like everyone or everything around me is pushing me in one direction and it's such an easy direction to take, I take it. Like I wasn't gonna be like, oh, actually, this apartment, oh, la 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 la. No, I took the apartment. I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Hallelujah. God bless. And now I'm in Paris. Yay. I have the concept that everything in life, not everything in life comes easily. Like, look at me on YouTube. I've been here for a year and a half, if not 2 at this point, and I barely have any subscribers, and I'm not even monetized, but I don't really complain about it because the people that do what, like y'all, it's pretty cool to have like this super tiny community of people who kind of get to come with you on your life experience. Obviously, when I started, part of me wanted to get rich, like get the coin. But now I feel like I just like making videos. So anyway, all this to say that now I'm in Paris. I still have a lot of vlogs I did in Asia that I didn't upload. So I don't know what you guys want me to do with them. Do you want me to upload them or do you want me to like just never mention Asia again? Sweet potatoes. Done. By the way, my neighbors can see everything I'm doing.